What's up, guys? LaShana here. We are back with the Healing While Building podcast. We are doing some pop-up episodes with some amazing minds, and it's powered by Seven Figure Spa Chick. They just had their seventh annual Black Spa Expo. I was able to come on site, interview some amazing ladies, and today we have Aphrodite Henderson. Go ahead and introduce herself for the people.
Hi, I'm Aphrodite Henderson, founder and owner of Quality Life Management, where we advocate, initiate, and coordinate services for the physically disabled and the intellectual disabled community. And we also have founded a nonprofit, Compassionate Care Services, where we bridge the gap for the disabled in the community, be it providing them with different resources like housing, medical supplies, food, or even when it comes down to just making sure they have someone to come check on them in their home.
Oh my goodness, that is something that is definitely needed. I think a lot of times that population gets counted out. What made you get into that realm, Aphrodite?
So I've been in this realm for over like 25 years, right? And so it has been very fulfilling when I know that I've made a difference with someone. And I ended up coming into this field I stumbled upon it like in healthcare because I've been I was doing like medical techs and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So after I finished college and things, I came over here and it's just been good to know that I can help our community, especially when it comes down to people not even understanding that they're normal, but they need some help, right?
Mhm.
They need some guidance. Sometimes they have to pick between whether or not they're gonna buy their medical supplies versus
Mhm.
gonna eat their food or or be homeless.
Right.
And so when you start seeing those type of things in the community, you have to, in my opinion, do something different.
That's right.
It makes me very grateful. It makes me very humble, and it just keeps me going throughout my day.
I love that. Yeah, you mentioned a few things, and in my opinion, anyone could wake up and be on the other side of the road in someone else's predicament. And I think that once we understand that support and compassion goes such a long way. We all can do this together. Everybody has a family member that probably could identify with what you just shared. And so in this world of entrepreneurship, healing while building is a big thing. And that's why I named my business and the podcast that. Has there been a moment for you, Aphrodite, where you've had to heal and deal with your own personal life, but still serve and help and share with others? Like, what was that healing while building journey for you like?
So I've been in a place where I was a caregiver, right?
Hmm.
My mom transitioned I think in 2018.
Okay.
And so I still had to service my people. I had to service them and service my personal situation with my mom transitioning and passing and needing me. And then I'm a wife. I was a wife. I was a parent of what I think like two high school kids at the time.
Hmm.
It's a lot. So healing while building is really I had to also say about Aphrodite. So what that consists of for me. At first, it consisted of nothing. I could be very transparent with you. It consisted of me not taking care of me. It
Mm,
consisted of exhaustion. It consisted of just checking out because I had checked out.
yeah.
But in the midst, I understood that I couldn't service anyone appropriately
Hmm.
without servicing me appropriately. It's like pouring from an empty cup. You get nothing.
That's right. And I appreciate your honesty because sometimes we can get on social media and we see all these photo shoots and these people doing this. But when they turn off that camera, they are lifing just like everyone else. And the problem arises when we see people looking a certain way, we assume that they got a perfect life, that they got everything going on, that the money's flowing. And that is most times not anywhere near the truth. And so, I think that at the end of the day, nobody is exempt to healing. It doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank. It don't matter what you look like, if you're married or single, if you live in a homeless shelter or you live in a mansion. When crisis knocks at your door,
Mhm.
we have to have the skills to deal with it. And I think if we work on it proactively when nothing's popping off, like doing your self-care and connecting with a therapist or life coach or even a business therapist like myself, whoever you need to connect with and have community, when it happens, you have a little bit more capacity to deal with it.
Yes. And that really brings me like with the conversation we're having, even with healing by building. So I started off with my healing process is that I was like, maybe I just need to go take a walk.
Mm,
And the funny part is I tell my caregivers that have to see about their loved ones this on a daily basis, right? So
yep.
I tell them this type of stuff daily, but I wasn't following my own conversation.
Come on now.
So I was like, I just might need to take a walk. And that was my start to healing. Then I said, eventually, like I didn't immediately go into therapy, right? But eventually, I was like, "Oh, Aphrodite, you need to talk to somebody. You need to have a conversation
Yep.
because it's heavy."
Yes.
So imagine you already got enough weight on you, then you barred down by all this other stuff that you got going on, and it does become a heavy load.
Yes, ma'am. It do. And you know that part about not practicing what we preach? That's when our conscience will eat at us and make us feel like a fraud because we're saying, you need to go do this, go do this, go do this. And then when we lay down at night, that's where imposter syndrome comes from. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, yes.
That inner critic telling you that you're not enough, you don't belong at the table.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, everybody gonna find out that you were fraud. Well, that's when we know that we're brilliant, but we're not being obedient and activating what God has given us, which is our gifts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I love that you pulled that out because soon as we get off this podcast, I'm going to go take a walk outside. When we work from home, or if you're coaching or you're doing case management or you're serving, most time you serving on the computer in the house somewhere or in the office. When can you go breathe the air, let the sunshine hit your face, move your body? If you're not conscientious, most people they don't prioritize and do that. So you saying that literally just held me accountable for me to go get my walk in today.
But that's good.
Yeah.
That is so I do now. What I do now is I exercise at least about 4 or 5 times a week, right? As a therapist, me being a case manager with social services, we hear a lot of heaviness. We see a lot of heaviness, and the thing about it, that's the only thing that keeps me a little balanced,
Yep.
right? Because it take more than that to balance me, but that keeps me more of a balance. I get my day started with those conversations,
Yeah.
you know, because at first I didn't know what balance was. Being an entrepreneur and all this other stuff, I probably don't even know what balance is now, to be be
Yeah.
truthful, but that has helped me a lot with this healing process.
Well, you want to know something?
Hmm.
I used to say balance, balance. I used to have a whole business called Bay, balance above everything. And you know what I realized? It's about harmony.
Mm.
Balance don't exist because if you want to teeter totter and somebody's heavier, it's going to be off tilted. But when you have harmony, what your harmony may look different than mine. I may sleep in till 8 till 9 or 10, but I'm up till 11 or 12. Or I might take a power nap in the middle of the day, but I'm rocking and rolling on the other sides of the day. Someone else might get up at they 5 a.m., do what they do. It doesn't mean any's right or wrong. What is harmony for you? Where you not feeling guilty? Rest is not a reward, it's a requirement, and it works for you. So I don't even preach this balance thing anymore. I say harmony because entrepreneurship is all about color. There's no black and white. For example, we've been trying to schedule this podcast session for weeks. I thought it was going to be in person. Here we are. But we're flexible. We're making it happen. And we're giving ourselves grace to not get an attitude about, oh, da 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 da. And I think when people are so rigid, is when the stress comes because they have no flexibility and there is no harmony. Collect their teeth.
Yes. I, so I have been battling what balance look like. But I'm so glad that you brought that to a real conversation with me and like reality because when you listen to other people, in especially in this arena, I have always heard you got to find a balance. You got to find a balance. And I just be very transparent. Like, I don't even know what a balance look like. Like, what is a
Yeah.
balance? I was
Yeah,
like, because by the time I feel like I balance here, then something here,
that's right.
and then something going like this, right? So I didn't. I'm so glad you said that it's more about harmony than a balance. Because listen, that's my therapy for the day. 'Cause that's a
Yeah.
relief.
Well, this is the thing, Aphrodite. Everything happens for a reason. Had we had this conversation last week, this topic may not even came up. But when you lean in and you are just surrendering to letting things happen as they may, that's where the magic happens.
Yes, because I listen. It's no such thing as a balance. It's harmony. I like that. I'm
Yeah,
glad you provided that to me. And that's really going to be provided to a lot of people who always running on the conversation of balance. Like, do
exactly.
you know how many people stress about
I,
saying their life is not balanced?
I do. And now let me tell you how knowledge and intellectual property works. I've been able to share that with you. You're going to be able to share that with your caregivers. Your caregivers going to be able to share that with their families. Do you see the domino effect of impact from one conversation of us just coming together and being in communion?
Right. Right. Because I could definitely teach and have a conversation differently. I
Yep.
could definitely advise differently. You
Exactly.
know, because being a caregiver, it takes a lot, right? It
Mhm.
takes a lot. Majority of people that we service, half of the time, either they don't have to quit their jobs or
Yep.
have to decrease. They've lost their income.
Mhm.
It's just so much. They juggling so much
Yeah.
that when you telling them balance, they already overwhelmed. So once
Yeah.
we think about it, they already overwhelmed, and then I'm adding balance on on their plate.
Hello. Yes. I love that you just said that. We think we be helping when we talk about these cliches or these things that we learn from growing up or from around the world. And then the person we trying to help, we're hurting them because now they got to figure out this other expectation that they know they can't do because they already tapped out.
Right,
I love it.
right,
This is really,
right.
really good. So, look, Aphrodite, this is to be a short, quick snippet, but I want everybody to know where to connect with you just in case they want to plug in and connect. Where can they find you at on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at I am underscore Aphrodite H or Quality Life Management. Also, we Quality Life Management on Facebook, Quality Life Management on LinkedIn, and TikTok.
Perfect. Anything else you want to share with the people before we wrap up?
Just with Quality Life Management and the people that we service, just know that if you're in need of services, we do service with Medicaid waiver programs like Now Comp and ICWP. So if you know anyone that is physically disabled, intellectually disabled, you are more than welcome to give us office a call 470-338-1059 or hit us up on one of our pages, our social media pages.
Okay, are you located in Florida?
We're located in Georgia and we service the whole state of Georgia.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought 470 was Florida, and I'm actually in Georgia, so look at me. Awesome. Well, we need to connect. I actually have a multi-purpose content creation studio. I'll talk to you about that offline, but you can come create content, co-work, get confidence coaching, the whole nine. For those who are tuning in, make sure you guys come and pop up and create. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Healing While Building podcast. It's like your girl, LaShana West, and my guest, Aphrodite Henderson. And I hope that this quick snippet was helpful for you. See you guys later.
Bye.